All right. I was expecting it to say you are now recording this, but it isn't. So welcome. We are recording. We are so excited to have you guys on live and watching the recording. But basically, my name is Alyson Darby, and I'm an Optavia independent coach or independent Optavia coach, however you want to say that. I have been with Optavia for 2 years, and it's been amazing. But y'all, I started my journey as a postpartum, 7 months postpartum with my second born. And now I am 6 months postpartum with my third born. So we're just coming full circle here. And so if you're watching this, you are probably planning ahead for this, or you are in the boat with some of us on here. And so we're just welcoming you guys. And we hope that this is encouraging. We hope to give you guys some tips, some mindset, all of that. But just know that this is a community. We're all in this together. Have literally been there, and some of us are there right now. And you're going to hear from some stellar speakers tonight. I won't burst their bubble. I won't, take everything away from them. I'll let them share their stories. But before we do that, before we jump into anything, I want to make sure that we are covered. And so I'm going to read some disclaimers. If you've been on any trainings, you have already heard these, but just to cover our bases. First, we're going to talk about income disclosure. In case anyone mentions income, we want to cover ourselves there. So these figures are not guarantees or projections of expected earnings or profits, and the income levels represented do not include expenses independent Optavia coaches may have incurred in building their businesses. Optavia makes no guarantees of financial success. Success with Optavia results from successful sales efforts, which require hard work, diligence, skill, persistence, competence, and leadership. So we all know that. And then also, we want to talk about average weight loss on the optimal weight 5-in-1 plan or any other plan is about 12 pounds. Clients are in weight loss on an average of 12 weeks. So we wanted to make sure to share that. And then I kind of just want to jump into it. So if I get y'all's permission, is that okay if we just jump into this thing? I am so excited. Okay, so I want to let every single person listening to the Zoom know that you are just seen and heard. That is one of my missions in life as a coach, is just to make sure that people feel seen, they feel heard, they feel valued. We are all here for you. We're all friends. We're all in this together. We're a community. And so pregnancy and postpartum is not something that you ever have to walk through alone, especially with coaches. So no matter where you're at in your journey, your mentor thread desires to help you in this season. So our first speaker is due any minute now. I mean, she could go into labor right now, but she is 36 weeks. She's hoping that she doesn't. And so Krystynna is walking the walk, y'all. So girl, come off mute and share a little bit of that gold with us.
Yes, and I've been told I have to show the belly, so here it is. Here it is. All right, I made it without falling over. So I'm Krystynna Wood. I've been coaching for 2.5 years, and this is my second pregnancy. My first pregnancy, like a lot of us, is what brought Optavia to me. I was a year postpartum then realizing I had not taken care of myself at all. And so then in-walks program. And let me tell you, the difference between this pregnancy and my last has just been so different. I felt so much more in control of my eating habits and my mindset because of having Optavia. And so I just want to encourage you guys, like wherever you're at, like coaching is just going to be a whole nother gift that you have in your life. And it's going to be a gift through your pregnancies as well. So I don't know if you're a planner, but I am. This was a planned pregnancy, and my plan was really like, I've thought about my whole health journey throughout. So I got to my goal weight, and then I really got into maintenance, and then I started working out because I wanted to be able to work out through my pregnancy. So if you're that type of person who is a planner and you're thinking about having a baby soon, maybe one of your coaches is talking about it and you want to share this with them, like it's a great thing to have a plan and to be really solid in your health journey going into your pregnancy. It made a huge difference for me. So I am in my 9th month of pregnancy now. And so things are so much different than that first trimester. If you or a coach on your team is in their first trimester and thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Please know that it gets better. The first trimester is hard and there's not much that you can do sometimes. And anything that you do, you should celebrate the crap out of yourself and know that moving forward, things will get better. Even my eating habits in my first trimester were not great. But guess what? Second trimester rolled back around and I picked up my good habits. So just keep that in mind. Wherever you're at, this whole coaching thing we're doing, we're just living out loud and sharing our journey. That doesn't stop when you're pregnant. So share where you're at in your health now. And then also, like, guys, being pregnant does not disqualify you from sharing your health journey that you already have. I have so many transformation posts from where before I got pregnant. I still pop those up in my stories and on my timeline. It doesn't disqualify, and everybody looks at my pictures and they know where I'm at and they give me grace and they're still excited knowing what this program has done. So just keep that in mind. It doesn't have to be your picture from a year ago and your picture today for you to share it. That's a big thing. And another thing, you don't have to be in fat burn to start conversations, to build relationships, and to grow your business. To drip coaching, you don't have to be losing weight to do that, guys. You don't have to be at your goal weight. People will give you grace. So remember that. Just a reminder, like more than ever, we're transformational health coaches, not diet coaches. So this is such a beautiful time to bring that to light, that this is about habit health. This is about having a strong mindset, and that's what you can share specifically. So with that, like, I've been so happy that I have kept my personal health in check during this pregnancy. And I see it. Like, I look back at my pictures before I had a baby, well, before program when I was pregnant, and compared them to now. And you know what? That's a powerful thing to share, because I'm not only smaller, I look healthier, my eyes are brighter, I'm smiling more confidently. Like, that's something to share. There are not just people who have 20 pounds to lose watching your story. There are pregnant mamas that are watching with you right now, thinking, and that knowing, and I have a lot of people who say to me, like, Krystynna, I know your weight's going to fall off. Like, I know this is going to work great for you. And they're right, because I'm determined to make that happen. And I want them to know it's possible for them too. So everything we do with Living Out Loud, it's all about sharing that hope with them. So it's been a cool thing having the accountability of coaching. You could look at it as so much pressure on your shoulders, like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant. How am I going to do this? And it's, oh, I want to eat this or have this craving or the other. Or you could flip it and look positively, thinking and knowing that the accountability of being a coach and knowing that people are watching me is helping me keep myself healthier, because I don't want to go back to where I was with my first pregnancy. I don't want to be at my daughter's first birthday weighing more than when I delivered her. I don't want to do that again. And so having all these tools has helped me. So instead of eat for two, I have exercise for two. I have used this time to grow personally and take people on that journey with me. So you can do it too. If I can do it, you can do it. There's no perfection, none. There is just a whole lot of consistency in picking myself back up. And it's not that I'm over here having a perfect 3 and 3. Never have I tried to do 5 and 1 on pregnancy. I enjoy some things and take care of myself. I stick to my good habits. Like, it's just the things that we tell our clients to do. It's just what I keep doing, guys. So another thing that's helped me, and I'm sharing and living this out loud on my social media, is that I have a plan. If you fail to plan, that plan to fail kind of thing, I have a plan for, just like I planned for this pregnancy and where I want it to be, I have a plan for where I want to be postpartum. Throwing myself a whole lot of grace, giving myself some really realistic goals. But I have a plan to give myself about 6 to 8 weeks of just taking care of myself, focusing on walking, water, baby, sleep. And then I'm going to start hopping in and getting really, really focused on the nursing mothers plan around that time. And then I've already set a goal. I know what 5K I'm going to run. I know what day it is. It is going to be in the fall of 2022. I have planned to run it in under 30 minutes. So that's a manageable goal, but it's going to push me to keep going. So, and that should really be how we are, not just pregnant, but in our health journey in general. We know where we're going. We know what's next. If you're able to keep your personal health in check and have that mindset in the right place, just like when you're growing your business when you're not pregnant, like, that's what's most important, guys. So I've learned to play the long game with my business, and that really counts here too, because you might get in your head. That's the worst place to be. We all know that. You might get in your head and you might say, I'm not adding on as many clients because I'm pregnant. I'm not sponsoring as many coaches as I'm pregnant. Play the long game. Keep doing what you know you're supposed to do. Start your conversations, drip coaching, work with your business partners, and just know that if you're doing what you're supposed to do, all will come around for you. So really just know, like, you might not get the likes and loves that you're used to, but people are still watching and you have a beautiful journey to share with them. So just stay committed to yourself. Take care of yourself. I've been so thankful for every good thing I've done to take care of myself. And I know that, and I've heard so many people tell me, and I know it's true, that this is just going to be another reboot of my health journey that I get to live out loud. I'm honestly excited about going through that journey again. So I just want to encourage you, if you're out there and you're nervous about, can you do this? Yes, you can if you choose to, and lean into your mentor team. If you're frustrated or if you're concerned, just talk with them and they can help encourage you through it. And I hope that hearing from all these ladies tonight encourages you too. So thank you for allowing me some time to share.
Oh, I love that, Krystynna. And I'm so glad we got to go to Cancun together. We've got to walk this journey together. And now we get to support each other. We have, that support within, going through pregnancy and postpartum. But I love some of the tips that she shared there, having that plan. What is that next thing you're going for? Y'all, she's not even stopping at like, I need to get to my goal weight after pregnancy. What? No, she knows when she's going to cross that finish line at a 5K. She wants to hit it in a certain amount of time. She has that SMART goal, and so that is something I would challenge all of y'all to do. And so don't start big, start small. What is one thing you can do on your worst day during pregnancy? And then what's something that you can do on your best day? Meet yourself there. And that way you have grace, but you also have structure. And so that's where those two things marry. So now I'm going to pass it off to another firecracker over here. I don't know if she's going to share her whole story with you. I don't know if we have time for all of that, but let me tell you, this woman went through so much in her postpartum journey, but was leaning into the support of her mentors and the community of coaches around her. So Rhoda, come on off, girl.
Hey, I'm Rhoda Hahn, and I've coached for 2 years. My husband and I, Steve, we have 3 boys, 7, 4, and our newest one is 6 months. So I'm 6 months postpartum. And so I did not have Optavia, not even know the word, but with my first 2 boys, and I had when people hear how much I gained with my first 2, they're like, where was it? I'm like, I don't know. I just had this weight. And so when I went into my 3rd, I knew I was equipped. I have done 5 and 1. And so I just knew this was an opportunity to really test my skills, the habits that I have created in my own journey in the last couple of years. So I just decided I had to make a decision of what I really wanted out of my pregnancy. And I was pretty bound and determined to have a really healthy pregnancy. So being the nerd that I am, I had to do the research. How much should I gain? Where should I be? What should I eat? Because we don't have a plan for pregnant women. And that's okay, because I have the skill to know what to put in my mouth. So I ate healthy. And yes, that first pregnancy, the first trimester, it is what it is. And for some of us, we are hugging the toilet a lot, and for others we are just hoping to eat, and so it's everywhere. But I just made the decision that I needed to take care of myself. And when I took care of myself as much as I could, and that included for me exercise, that included eating well, man, it just helped me all around. And at the time I was teaching and coaching at the same time. That's a lot, but I did it. And I know it's because I was able to put my health first. So it has to start with one decision of what you're going to commit to. So pulling in your mentors, like Krystynna said, surrounding yourself. Honestly, I reached out to some friends that are here and I was like, okay, we're starting a group chat. I need support because I just don't know what this looks like. And I know people that have done it. And so I just surrounded myself with some support. I drank my water. Drink your water. Like what the doctor says to drink, you drink it. Like it doesn't matter if you have to go to the bathroom a lot, you drink your water. Because honestly, that's going to help you once you get to deliver the baby. It's just going to help the whole process and what your body's going to go through. And so just setting those goals, doing the truly setting, I use an app to like set those goals up, so that I would do it, or else I wouldn't do it, because you have pregnancy brain. And then just bringing people along the journey. Honestly, I know with our first 2 pregnancies, everybody wanted to know the story. Everyone looked forward to the just hearing the results from the doctor visits. And so I've always shared loudly and boldly. And so just documenting the journey along the way, taking the photo and posting it later when you can, and being very flexible with your clients, and they are going to be flexible back. That was probably my biggest fear, is that I wasn't going to coach them well, and that I wouldn't be able to, I don't know, I'm getting a little bit emotional about it, but I was nervous that I couldn't do both. You guys, I did it. It was fun to bring them along the journey. They were just genuinely concerned and cared, and just wanted to hear the updates. And so one tip that was passed to me is, when you have that baby, send a picture out to your clients. Let them be some of the first that get to see that baby, because you're walking a very unique journey with them. You're helping them lose weight, and you're helping them change their lives. And so they should have the opportunity to partake in that as well. And so I just gifted them that. But also knowing that you need to decide what you want to share with your clients, or you might be talking to them for a long time. So just know what it is you want to share, and then being able to, still serve them well, especially on client check-in days. Lean into your mentors, be bold and willing to share when you're nervous about something, when you need help. My mentors just knew, like, hey, I'm for real in labor, and there was supposed to be a health assessment, or I was supposed to have a coach kickoff, and I guarantee you they're going to step in and support, for sure. So on the postpartum side of things, it's the same thing. It's the same exact thing, is sharing out loud, snapping the photos. I just, as a little freebie bonus tip, if you nurse, or if you're bottle feeding at 2 a.m, 3 a.m, at some point you're going to feel it, and you're going to be doing this in the chair and falling asleep. So that was a time that I started doing daily actions instead of at 8 a.m. That was the time I would follow up. That was the time I would create my post. I wouldn't post it at 2 a.m, but I would just use that as a way to stay awake, but not just binge watch. I use it as a time to really build my business. So, there's like a million other things I could probably share, but there's so much gold here. But I just want to say that you are capable. It's just a decision. And I love what Krystynna said. She already knows. So you set that goal out there, and you walk toward it, and you walk with your mentors, and you pull us in, and we'll be there to cheer you on.
Yes. Oh, I love that. And thank you for just being so vulnerable. I know that so many people, us included, relate to your fears and the things that you might have been insecure about. But I love that you took those insecurities and you put into action. And so thank you so much for sharing that. Okay, so our next coach is someone that I don't know, gosh, we have walked a lot of journeys together. And so it's been quite some time, maybe a year, that we've Marco Poloed back and forth, and someone that is so supportive. So I know that she's going to impart that onto you, and I know you'll feel that. But Carrie Chonko, can you come off and share your story?
Absolutely. Oh, ladies, I have loved everything that's already been shared tonight. And I'm just like head nodding over here, just getting so much gold myself. So I'm just so thankful for this community that we found through this program. Mamas, like, that is something that I will definitely say is really dig into the community and find the other women, because most of us have walked this at some point, whether it's pregnancy or postpartum. And so find someone that you can do this with, because that's what Optavia is really about, is the community. So anyway, I'm Carrie Chonko. I have been coaching for a little over 2 years now. I have 3 kids, 6-year-old, 4.5-year-old, and then a 2-month-old. I'm 2 months postpartum. And I am forever grateful for this program and for Optavia. Part of my story is that I never could get the baby weight off, had my second kid. I had them back to back, and I ended up injuring my back and having back surgery to the point to where my surgeon told me that I should not carry any more children. You have 2 healthy children. Why risk your back? Well, in comes Optavia. And I was able to get the weight off and get to a place in my health to where I felt confident, and my husband and I felt confident that we were being called to have another child and that my body was healthy enough to be able to do it. And so I just praise him for that. And so, yes, that is, thank you. So amazing, because I really say that this baby is an Optavia baby. And so just have the confidence that children are from the Lord, that this is a blessing, and that he is going to provide when you show up. Like use this time to really share and be open and vulnerable about what this has done for you, what it's done for you all the way in your health journey, and what it's doing for you now. Because my health now looks a whole lot different than my first pregnancy. And I know that's kind of been talked about already, but truly, like, I would share those non-scale victories while I was pregnant. I mean, the fact that I wasn't swelling up like a balloon, I could still get my wedding rings on, and up until I gave birth, that was a huge thing for me. So find those non-scale victories that you're going to be able to share with people, because that's going to speak to people. Not having heartburn like I did my other 2 pregnancies, because I was actually eating healthy. And if I ever chose to not eat healthy while I was pregnant, I knew I was going to get heartburn, but I knew what to do. You know, this program has, like these women have said, it set me up with the habits to be able to, and the education to know how to fuel my body properly for pregnancy. And so that's such a gift that we can share with people, our non-scale victories and just how we're fueling our body. So share what you're eating, share like what you're doing, like the water and the exercise, and how you're showing up in your health right now for people, so that they can see, you know, how it looks different whenever you really are contending for your health during pregnancy. And not only did it help me during my pregnancy, but like it's been mentioned, is postpartum. I mean, my doctor was amazed at how I looked right after having a baby. And my husband, again, and it just made me feel so good. Like, it's so, you know, when we were losing our weight and our husbands were noticing and like, oh, you're looking so good. You know, my husband was telling me after I had the baby, wow, you look so good. And that just felt so good to know that this time I had taken proper care of my body for me and for my baby and for my husband. So I showed up for my husband too. So it helps our marriage whenever we show up for ourselves. And so I would also use pictures of my previous pregnancy just to motivate me to continue to keep going and working towards my health. And that if you have a previous pregnancy, I would show the difference in, you know, the first pregnancy, the second pregnancy versus this pregnancy, or however many pregnancies you've had at this point. Also show the difference in, like, for me, I weighed what I weighed when I started my program when I gave birth. That's crazy. So show those things, because that's mind blowing to people. Like, I'm telling you, I started my program at the same weight that I gave birth 9 months pregnant, you know? So it's just amazing to be able to show people the difference and how this health makes our bodies, you know. It's just such a huge difference. And so then now I really tried, once I had the baby, like Krystynna, I had a plan, and I was like, look, I'm going to, in the hospital, I'm going to make the decision to eat healthy. Now, have I been perfect? No, it's going to be imperfect progress, but just keep contending for your health, make the choices, because it's worth it. And so I was choosing salmon and vegetables in the hospital room, because that's what, for me, that was my choice. And that's what I really desired, because this is a lifestyle change for me. This is not just a diet. So like that's been said already, that this is a health thing. This is not just about losing weight and being about a diet. It's really about a lifestyle change. So make those choices for you, for your baby. And then, you know, the weight is going to come off, and be confident in that. So if you're postpartum now, know that, you know, it is going to come right off. We have the nursing moms plan, and we have confidence to be able to help not only ourselves through it, but other people through it by walking the journey and living that out loud. So I think that's really it. Oh, one more thing I wanted to add is that this gave me an opportunity for a niche market, because it put me in a place to where I could really have a heart for pregnant moms and postpartum moms. So it gave me a lot of opportunities to connect authentically, like really just like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant, when are you due, or like, how old's your baby, I'm due in September, so it really gave me a chance to like have a heart for people that were in the exact same place as me, that may or may not need help, but hey, if they do, I'm here for them. And it just was really fun getting to connect. And then I think that's it. I'm sorry.
I
For letting me share.
love it so much. She is so right. And y'all, I followed her entire journey, and she shared her meals. She shared, like, it wasn't 5-in-1 meal. It wasn't a lean and green. It was a maintenance, well-balanced meal throughout the day. She had some of her fuelings, but then she also had, her healthy starches and everything. So I loved watching that. Plus everything else in her journey was just so incredible and inspiring. But you can do this. Like they have said, it is not a diet plan. This is a healthy habits plan. And we're also, as coaches, in the relationship business. And just, I keep on saying, she's so right. She's so right. She really is, that she is able to connect with people in a different way. Like, oh my gosh, you're pregnant too. I had so many people, like Rhoda, stole my due date. So there's that. I was still pregnant and she had a baby, but I had other people that were like, oh my gosh, I'm due the same month, or I'm due the month after you. Let's do it together, And so it wasn't necessarily health. It was just relationship. And so guys, build those relationships, lean into that community that's right there. So our next speaker, I never pass it off to this speaker. She always passes it off to me because she is my mentor. But Jouleen Deering has been someone who has been so pivotal in my health journey and my business journey. But she's also probably the first person that knew about our third baby, because I FaceTimed her from the Walmart parking lot, you guys. So I just want to introduce Jouleen. She's incredible. Come on off, girl.
Oh my gosh, I love you. Yeah, she sure did. She peed on a stick and she called me from the parking lot. So that's how we roll over here. I'm Jouleen Deering. It's so exciting to get to be with you guys. A little bit about my story is, even though Krystynna and I kind of look alike, I am not the planner that she is. So if you in your life is crazy and chaotic and the thought of like planning and structure stresses you out, hi, that's me, and you can still do this. So we did not plan our second baby. We were just like, oh, we're pregnant. Okay, let's do this, right? And so I started this program in October of 2018. And my first son was a year old, and really I had gotten the baby weight off, but I was overweight when I first got pregnant. So I got the baby weight off and just was back at my fat self and needed to get the regular weight off. And so really it was just one of those where I started Optavia, and we all know income, not income, but fat loss disclosure works. Like it's just amazing. And so I went on to lose 35 pounds, maintained for a year before I got pregnant with Jackson, who is crying at the door. I don't know if y'all can hear him, but he hears my voice, I think. But he was my COVID baby. And so we were pregnant all throughout COVID. And I had been coaching for almost a year and a half, and it just wasn't an option to stop. It wasn't an option for us to pause. We already talked and spoke the income disclosure. So I can honestly say I had replaced my teacher salary in that year. Executive director income can kind of do that because teachers just don't get paid enough. And so I had replaced that salary with Optavia, and that was it. This is what I do. And so showing up pregnant was just the next step. I didn't have a plan. I just showed up. And so just like these girls, they've given you amazing tips when it comes to how to show up, the pictures to take, the progress that you can make, the comparisons you can still do, what you're eating, how you're showing up in your day-to-day, the energy you have. Even if you are taking 3 naps a day, I still had more energy than I used to, right? And so show up, but just don't make the excuse that you can't, because you can, and we want to link arms with you along the way. That doesn't mean it has to be perfect. That doesn't mean it has to be pretty every day, but just make that commitment, right? And just tell yourself, I would have to, like, if I was pregnant as a teacher, I would still have to show up. I still have to go to school. I wouldn't be able to take off days because I had to save them up for my actual pregnancy, right? And so the same thing with this business. I showed up anyway because this is what I do. And the amazing thing is that in pregnancy, you get to show people it's not just about weight loss. That was what was incredible. And what so many people I think were surprised by is that they were like, well, it's not just a weight loss program. And so I was able to show, like, no, it's about health. Here I am having a healthy pregnancy and then a healthy postpartum because of the Nursing Moms Plan. And then now I'm back into optimal health. And so Jackson's a year old. And so really just showing that whole transformation along the way. And so you've gotten some really good tips when it comes to the pregnancy part, the planning, the food, the meals that you can do. And so I'm going to give you a little bit of business suggestions if you guys are open for it. Know that you can, and believe that you can still enroll clients. You can still bring people along, whether you are gaining weight in a healthy way or not. Other people still need you, and they don't know what to do without you. That's the reality, is that there are people whose life you're in right now that need your support. And so show up for them because they're waiting for someone. I was crying tears because I couldn't wear an outfit on my date with my husband, whether I was pregnant or not, right? That was pre-Optavia. And so show up for somebody because they need you to show them how they can be successful. I still brought on coaches. You're pregnant for 9 months, y'all. That's a long time to put pause on your business. And so I will tell you, when I went back and looked, but when I started pregnant, right, January of 2020 was when I found out I was pregnant with Jackson. I was at Integrated National Director. During my pregnancy, I hit global, and I will say in that time, my business exponentially grew because I showed up every day. So I'm speaking that over you guys, that during pregnancy, you're going to show up every day and your business is going to grow exponentially because people need what we have. It's a gift. And so one thing that I remember in my first pregnancy is I had to take off. I was teaching. I had to save up all my days. I had to take off during that time. I ended up having a C-section. And so my days were longer than what was planned and what I had saved. And so I literally lost money when I was teaching because I didn't have days saved up. They don't give you maternity leave. During Optavia, I got paid during my maternity leave. I took off time. I had people supporting me, had mentors in my corner that were cheering me on. Alyson actually helped out with some of my clients. She was like, put me in that thread, I'll help them out. And that was just something that I look back on, and education didn't do that for me. The Optavia did. And so the community that you have and that you're surrounded with is a blessing. See that and know that, walk into it confidently, and that this season, the blessing that the Lord has given you in this little baby that you're growing, in this life that you're about to change, that He is going to abundantly bless your life in addition to just that little baby. There's so much more waiting for you. And so believe it with truth, believe it with confidence, and know that you're not alone in it, that we're walking this with you, and that there have been other women paving the way that you can do this during pregnancy. So, and postpartum too, because that life is crazy, just as crazy as the pregnancy life. But I love you guys. I hope that was helpful.
Wasn't that amazing? Oh, I just love it, love it, love it. And actually, while she was talking, I just had all these flashbacks of all these things. And something Jouleen wasn't afraid of was having too much success while she was pregnant and not being able to keep up with it, because she did have this community, and if that is a fear in the back of your mind, just know that you can lean into that. It's open. It's hands wide open. It is there for you. All you have to do is accept it and lean into it. And I promise it will just wrap its arms around you. So let us be there for you. Let your mentors be there for you. I wanted to share 2 post examples. So I'm very action. I made sure I wasn't too much this time, but I wanted to share 2 post ideas with you guys. They are like weight loss transformations. One of them is from a past pregnancy in this pregnancy, and the other one is not. So I wanted this to be applicable to anyone that is watching. So let me share my screen. So here is obviously pregnancy to pregnancy. This one was 28 weeks and this was 29. So let's just talk about that one. So this is an idea of what you can do. If you are on the recording, you can screenshot it, go back to it, whatever. But then we also have this one. I was not pregnant in either of these. So here we are pregnant. I don't remember where I was. I'm sure it says in here, but I mean, guys, maybe I was like 5 months pregnant at that point. That's big pregnant for a third baby. So you can still share and show up, even if I didn't have, a different, a pregnancy before to show. And so wanted to share those with you guys, just in case you need ideas, if that gets those inspiration juices flowing. But we believe in you guys so much. We have done it. We've walked it. Krystynna is walking it. So everyone here has been through that. And so I just hope that you leave this Zoom encouraged. I am going to wrap this up, but I really wanted to leave you with just one more action step. Text your mentor thread, what you plan to implement and how they can help you on this journey. I keep myself accountable by committing to text my coach, Jouleen, on my weigh-in days, which I texted her today. I was like, it's tomorrow, by the way. So yours might be a tracker. Yours might be writing things down or doing stickers or posting your transformations on Facebook, which I hope it should be. I mean, everyone here has such an incredible story. So whatever it is, text your mentor thread what you plan to implement from this. And that is what we're going to leave you with. We love you guys. I'm going to stop that recording.